Yo guys, what is going on? Welcome back to another video on the channel, boys. We have a video today in which we're going to be we're talking about Futmas. That's what we're going to be talking about today. I want to talk about the promo because I guess the way the channel is going to work in the next day or two is that we kind of have Messi Player of the Month coming out tomorrow. So that's going to cover a lot of the content that you guys are going to see. We're going to have a discussion about the market impacts, what's going up, what's going down, things like that when it does come tomorrow. We're also going to have a ton of other things regarding that Messi. We're going to probably have a review over on the second channel for the Messi tomorrow. And then, yeah, so really Futmas starts Friday, basically is what I'm assuming. So I don't really know when I'm going to get a video out for Futmas besides tomorrow morning being a really good time to do it. I mean, instead of giving you guys a market upload, I know we talked about the market last night. I showed you guys a little bit of what I'm doing to prepare ahead of time for upcoming SBCs, but I thought we should do a longer video today, maybe just looking at Futmas and talking about some of the things that you guys could expect. The promo itself, what it's going to bring, and what it can do to the market, and just kind of, not even to the market, but maybe give you guys some tips in the video today to anybody else who is running Road to Glories and things like that about how you guys can maybe prepare ahead of time. And just kind of take an investment an investment approach that can help you maybe save coins or make coins, right? And talking a little bit about some of the ways that goes down and then how it could work. At the moment, guys, just so you guys know with my my situation, there's nothing going on. We have some draft win reward packs, but I think I'm going to stockpile these for maybe a video for you guys tomorrow night or tonight for the double upload. We'll have like maybe 3 or 4 sets of draft rewards for the video. We'll do a big draft rewards video, see if we pack somebody. Get you guys a little pack opening for my account while the Road to the Finals are packed. So, Futmas, guys, what is the promo? The promo is a promo that basically, it does bring a lot of cards that are like SBC cards to the market. EA, it's one of the promos every year that EA runs, and it's always, in my opinion, I always see this promo happening. It's always on the second Friday of December, usually. It's always around the 14th is basically what I remember. Now, it's a promo where you basically get really boosted cards, for the most part, that are usable in a good amount of positions. So, last year, I mean, for me, guys, I had a Futmas KDB in my squad for about 500 games. I had a Futmas Firmino in my squad for about 600 games. Like, I had some cards last year that I used for a lot of the year. Last year, also had a Matuidi that was, I think, like 100K maybe, 125K. Was some pretty good value because it was a solid card. We got a Futmas Valencia. Last year, EA did a really good job, I think, of trying to give us some cards that positionally worked out really well. Usually the way they'll do it, at least the way they did it last year, was you had a low tier one, a mid tier, and a high tier. The year before last year, FIFA 18, Futmas was terrible. It was awful. Last year they actually gave us a few cards that we could use that were meta and did pretty well within weekend league teams. If you look here, Foothead has all the expired. I think Footman does as well, but I know Footheads is the one that I know how to use, and I want to give you guys something I know how to use. So Foothead had all the obviously they had all the Futmas cards on here as well. And as you guys can see, we have all these player SBCs. So the way the promo is going to work, guys, long story short, 3 player SBCs per day for about 2 weeks. The promo started last year, as you guys can see, on December 15th, right? I think this Friday is going to be December 14th? December 13th? December 13th is going to be this Friday. Yeah, so it started on December 15th last year, and it went all the way until December 25th. So they did, I think it's called the 10 or 11 days of Futmas. They called it 10 days of Futmas. So if you guys do the math, I mean, 10 times 3 is 30. There was 30, I think there was 30 player SBCs last year. There might have been an objective or two. This year, they'll definitely do an objective. They didn't last year. I think they did do an objective. So we'll probably get 32 Futmas players again this year. And I have a little outside shot, or I guess shot in the dark, that maybe EA might throw a team of cards into packs. Now, what's really interesting that's going on between all of this, guys, that maybe is a little bit more unsaid, Prime icons are supposed to come out pretty soon. That is 100%. The baby icons are supposed to go out of packs in mid-December, and Prime icons are supposed to come out soon. So that is either going to be this week or the 20th. Now, my guess is it's going to be on the 20th. I think they're going to wait till the 20th, and that's why I think they might do some packs. But I think what they're going to do is they're going to market Futmas as a 2-week promo. They're going to have to put a little bit of something, I think, in a packs this Friday because they're kind of in that groove of selling packs right now. But I also think that they're going to do this thing where they're going to obviously advertise lightning rounds. There's going to be lightning rounds for the Prime Icons 100%. They're going to run lightning rounds the following Friday because why not, right? They're making all the money on the lightning rounds. They're selling out packs. Why wouldn't they? If you were EA, why would you not run lightning rounds, right? They're making a ton of money on that stuff. So last year, you guys could see, we got all these kinds of cards. We've got an Alejandro Gomez, and it was an 86 rated card. For this Gomez, you had to submit an 84 rated team. So keep that in mind. We had a Lucas Torreira. Now, this was actually one of the best valued SBCs all year because I think this card was an 82 or an 84, and it got a huge upgrade with winter upgrades. And that's something to consider because winter upgrades are going to be coming in a month from now, guys. So we're going to start to look at these Futmas SBCs, and when you guys come into the streams or the videos and the analysis of the SBCs, if I tell you guys if it's worth it or not, what I will be able to do is provide for you guys some information on the cards and the players, and if they're playing well for the year, are they going to potentially get an upgrade down the line? For this Lucas Torreira, you guys can see 83 rated was required. So it's these types of players, right? It's players that EA feel like are fun cards or cards that you may use. I think the Zaha was about 70K. Wasn't the best player, 84 rated as well. And as you guys can see, the common trend of Futmas is that there are a lot of player SBCs that are coming out that are, players that are popular, right? Whether you think this is good value or bad value, Rashford was 85 rated. Whatever the value you guys may think of these cards, the fact of the matter is, in the bottom line, is that these cards are very, very popular, right? A lot of these players, Marcus Rashford, Zaha, Lucas Torreira, right? Alejandro Gomez is a popular player. Zakaria was a cheap SBC, and this is kind of the way they were doing it. They were releasing cheap cards, like a set of cheap cards, because they do 3 a day. One is like a middle tier, and the other one is expensive. So this day, this day was Zakaria, Callejon, and Firmino. And I actually did do this Firmino. It was about 170K, I think, for the 85 squad, 86 squad. It was about 170, 180K. I did this SBC. It was 150K. Now, the way to go with these is that basically the card prices soar for the first few hours, the first 6 hours for the SBC, and then they start to go down. So I was always doing these SBCs, I remember, because I was streaming at the time. I was doing these SBCs between, for me, the content drop is 1 p.m., so I was doing them at 12:30 because I was trying to get them a little bit cheaper. But these kinds of cards, man, and some of these cards are really usable. That Firmino was really usable for me. We were getting at least a player a day last year that I felt like was pretty good. This Akanji came out. It was an 82 rated. This was really expensive, though. So it's very interesting to see because, EA is still going to mess up these price points. They released an 82 Akanji with an 85 squad rating. I mean, that's a little bit overkill. So EA was still pulling EA stuff. They were still doing EA types of things, but the player selection is good, right? It was okay last year. We got a Sun last year. Very popular card, Futmas Sun. A lot of people went off for that card. A card that a lot of people wanted. So that was an 86 rated. And as you guys can see, what the common trend of this, boys, and as you guys look into the SBCs, minimum team of the weeks and foot champs, right? There are a lot of Futmas SBCs, guys, that require a lot of 83s, a lot of 84s, and a lot of team of the week players. That is the common trend of the Futmas promo. Now, last year we didn't really get much with the Futmas promo, is what I remember at least. But 84 rated, a lot of these are 84 rated. So for me, guys, there's a few things that you can do to prepare for the Futmas promo. Now, what I have done so far, this is what I have done. I've today, as I showed you guys in my upload last night, I basically club stocked 86 to 90 rated cards, 86 to 91 rated cards. I put a bunch of them in my club. I felt like they got really cheap with SBCs. The way to invest, guys, you have until probably Friday or Saturday. Just whenever we get large supply of packs, don't go buy off this video right now. Whenever we get marquee matchups, right? Marquee matchups are on Thursday, so there's going to be supply into the market. Whenever we get stuff like that, where people are going to go open packs, let's say tomorrow EA drops, or today even, EA drops a 35K pack for 2K coins, right? Everybody on foot does that. So the market gets supplied, whether it's meta golds, team of the week cards, whatever it may be, right? Go through and just go snipe some, bid or snipe, and put them in your club. Because I'm going to tell you this, I haven't done the section of where I want to invest yet. I haven't bought 84, 83s, 82s yet, just because I haven't, right? I haven't gotten to the point where I've been okay to go buy those, right? For me at the moment, some of them are still a little bit expensive. I definitely want to get some 83s in my club, but I think what's interesting to see as well, and I want to double check this with you guys because this is important. Did EA release a Team of the Week SBC with Futmas last year? That's what I want to double check. So they did. So there was a Futmas SBC that was released on the 24th last year that expired on the 31st. So that was an 83 rated SBC that brought up the prices of 83s again. So that's why I also think heading into Futmas, just kind of having a club stock of 83s and 84s is not a terrible idea, considering also 32 player SBCs, guys, right? I mean, that's something to think about. 32 players, or if you get 32 players, maybe with the objectives, 30 SBCs with plus the objective players. So I'm projecting 32 are coming into Ultimate Team. So you're going to have some higher tier players. That's why I have these high rateds. I actually have these high rateds for Messi. But, that's why I'm buying them as well, because even if they don't work out for Messi, I'm going to have the high rated players like the 85 pluses just in my club ready to go. And that's kind of why I want to have those ready to go, because I feel like that's a really good idea. So what I'm going to do with you guys right now is I want to take you guys over. So by the way, this is also it's all important information, guys, because the Futmas promo is 2 weeks long. So I want you guys to know what can come. I'm expecting Team of the Week SBCs second week prime icons and packs on the Friday. First probably 7 days is going to be objectives and player SBCs per day. 3 player SBCs per day. That's probably going to be the first 7 days. Now, this is what's going to get interesting, and this is where we're going to go look at some things. So right now, if you went to look at 83s, I'm pretty sure they're actually cheap compared to what they were. And every single day that goes on, they're a little bit less relevant because we don't really have SBCs requiring them too much right now. So you guys can see they were 1.9K the other day. They are kind of low right now, right? They were really low for a long time. 83s before November were literally 800 coins. I mean, that would have been the ideal time. I don't think it's a terrible time to go in and maybe just start looking at some. You guys can see we had a Team of the League SBC, I think, the other week. They went to 3K. So you can basically get 83s at a half price of what you could get them the other day, right? That's when the SBC was out, the Team of the League SBC. Now, that's going to be in a little while, so I wouldn't really worry about that. But I think what's really, interesting, or what we could go look at together, is the 83s, what happened to them last year, because I think that's a big deal. Not even just 83s, right? Just golds and informs in general, and what maybe had happened to them last year, because I think it's something that's relevant. So last year, Futmas was obviously, we already looked at the date. I think last year it was the 15th. So we're on FIFA 19 at the moment. So we want to look for a player that's maybe a little bit more like a discard one, right? Oh, flipping, what the heck is going on? Okay, so Juan Mata, right? This is an 83 from last year. And let's just try to watch what his progression does around the Futmas promo, right? So we'll do that. And then we'll make sure we do November, right? This is November. So this is the start of Futmas. So they really boomed up. And then I think this is when the Team of the Week SBC came out. Or the Team of the Week SBC might have been available for 2 weeks. That might have been how EA had done it. So if that's the case, they would have done well. Long story short is what you can see is pre-Futmas, you had the 83s were definitely under 2K, and during most of Futmas, they were over 2K for the majority of Futmas. You can see there was a spike day here on a Sunday, December 23rd, right? So let's go take a look at Sunday, December 23rd. And why did Juan Mata maybe spike on that day? So we've got Sunday, December 23rd. We've got 3 SBCs. We've got Isco, we've got Van Aanholt, and I'm assuming it was Van Aanholt. It was Van Aanholt, right? Everybody wanted to get this Van Aanholt. It was a left back in the Prem. So people wanted to see, look, finally the card we had all been waiting for. A Pacey Prem left back, right? That's the first comment. So that's obviously why. And then this is a daily average price, which tells you that for half of that day, he was probably less than 2.6. So this guy probably, the 83s probably that day spiked about 3,000 coins. So for me, it's something that you can do that's very safe, right? It's something that you can kind of put them into your club and just see what happens. That's what I would say. You could see what happens to them. It's not something you really have to stress about once you put them in your club. Just because, realistically, at some point you should get an SBC that's going to juice them up a little bit. This is pre-Futmas right here, 2K. He spikes up to about 2.4. Pre-Futmas, though, you're looking at that 1.7 price. And that's why I think you can't really go that wrong with these cards. I think it would be a little bit more interesting to go and look at 84s and maybe see what went down with those, because 84s make for some interesting solutions and things like that. So a guy like Barzagli last year was a really good 84. He's an Italian center back with a Juventus or Piemonte Calcio this year link, right? So that's always a really good link in foot, just in SBC solutions and stuff. That always just does really well. So the start of Futmas, we're looking at, he's about 5.8, 5.2, 6K. He fluctuates every day. And then there was times during Futmas where he did get over 7K. what you can notice, I think, is that 84s were really inflated heading into Futmas, right? We already had icon SBCs out. We don't know what Messi's going to offer. This is obviously as the SBCs are dying. This is kind of when Futmas is kind of dying down. I think the last day of player SBCs was the 25th. So you guys can see here that that's the day that these drop off, right? Because there's no longer like crazy player SBCs. So you guys can see that most of the 83s, 84s, that kind of stuff, it does hold its value through Futmas. And then you're going to get some days where like there'll be a hit to sell or not a hit to sell on other days, right? I think 86s are something to look at as well. These are also another card type that could be potentially relevant to take a look at. We could take a look at that. And like for me, I just think if you're running a road to glory, it's a really good time to just kind of be prepared. And I think the best part about this, right, is look, let's say you wanted to get a potential Sun Futmas last year, right? Let's go look at that Sun Futmas card. Because, let's say you wanted this Sun Futmas card. So, did I already lose it? Oh my God, we're going to have to scroll all the way down. All right, so let's say like Sun's Futmas card. I think it required like an 85 or an 86 team rating, right? You put this 85 in your club pre-Futmas, you get them at 15K. Let's say you want to do that Sonaldo, and instead of having to pay that premium of that 23K or 22K for that Pjanic that day for the solution, you paid 15. So you actually save coins doing Futmas SBCs if you want to. Because, guys, there's going to be 30 players that are released. So there realistically are going to be some players that you want to complete that you're going to have these cards in your club. You can say, okay, that's really nice, right? Because that's going to save me coins. And then if you don't want to do the player, you could sell it. But I think that's something to look at. So most cards last year did well. For me, I think it's really hard exactly to know what to put into your coins into for this Futmas. And I think the best thing to do is just do that kind of very like simple and innocent club stock. And I know it sounds crazy, but it's just sometimes doing a little bit of a club stock just doesn't hurt at all. And what I've been seeing is that really like high tier informs have been doing well from the last few team of the weeks. I want to take a look at this stuff with you guys because I want you guys to watch how like for me, guys, look, this is something that I'm very similar to a lot. Like I'm not great with investing. Like I don't think it's been working a lot recently. It's not been great. Some of the high rated stuff has been good. Like the informs, like Navas has done really well recently. But I haven't really seen too much what's been going on with these 84 rated informs. So right now, guys, you've got 3 of the cheapest 84 rated informs. 2 of the cheapest are in this actual current team of the week. Now, as Futmas comes, I'm assuming that they're no longer going to be the cheapest. They're no longer going to be the cheapest as we continue to get these SBCs and things like that. If you look at 83s, Bender is one of the cheapest ones heading into Futmas. Now, if I had a road to glory, I would probably pick up a few Benders, right? He's a right back. He's going to get into a lot of solutions. I actually really like that Bender as a buy. Now, I don't really have transfer space because of the way I trade. I'm just never going to have a lot of really good, I'm never going to have a great opportunity to pick up a ton of Sven Benders and put them in my transfer list, right? Because that's going to take a lot. Whoa. Wait, why is he so high? That's going to take a lot of, stocking. This dude is... Oh, it... Oh, man, Nick. You are on one tonight. All right, because that's going to take a lot of, obviously, club stock. It's going to take a lot to do that, right? I'm going to need a lot of space to hold an 83 rated uniform for a long time. But, I don't think it's terrible value. I'm going to try to see if I can go ahead and pick up one. And this is the way I would do it. As you guys are going, don't just, try to... Oh, dude. I think somebody's sitting here trying to snipe this dude because they're trying to probably invest in him. I'm just trying to get one for my club, so I'm ready to go. Is there a 13,250? 12.5. Boom. So we got a 12.5 because we were patient. And that's the second cheapest inform. And what I'll do is I'll hold them through Futmas. If we get team of the week requirements and things like that, I'm ready to go, right? What the heck? Okay, guys, we got to buy these two. 10.5K for Lars Bender, dude. I'm going to keep these 2 on my transfer list. All right, boys. You guys are going to remember this video. We'll keep these 2 on my transfer list. I can't believe that. There's 2 at 10.5. Is there another one? All right, we're going to keep those 2 on my transfer list. So what I'm doing right now, guys, look, is you've got a team of the week available at the moment, right? There's going to be a new team of the week tomorrow. So there'll be a new cheapest 83, 84 tomorrow. And these are not the best investments, right? I'm just doing what a simple person on a road to glory might do at the moment, right? I'm starting to stock players that are the cheapest in their rating for the informs into my club. That's realistically, at the moment, that's what I'm doing, right? This is what I would do every year before Futmas. And for this Arnautovic, right, I want to try to get a little bit of a snipe on him because he's not really selling at 14,250. I would like to get him a little cheaper. It says Mitrovic right now is actually the cheapest 84 rated inform in the game. He's 13,750. So we've got a 13K sitting on the market, which of course I missed because I suck. So yeah, and look, these guys are a little bit more rare. These guys are a little bit, no, they're not more rare. They're a little bit more common than you would want with an inform, right? You guys can see that there's a lot of supply with these cards. They're a really recent team of the week. Something you can't really go wrong with doing, and I'll always like advise this. And I'm lazy, so I'm not going to take forever with these. I'm just going to buy one and put it in my club. Now, something you can't really go wrong with doing, in my opinion at least, is like, all right, so like with the 84 rated informs, or like any kind of informs, right? Anything that's out of packs that's like getting really rare. Let's say there's a guy in Team League 3 that's like a Spanish inform that's like a super, I guess like a super nobody that like is like super just rare now. Like even if you have to pay 2K more than the cheapest 84 for him and he's a good nationality, usually those ones will fly. Like that's my advice that I've seen through Futmas. We've got this 85 rated Silicin that we could put into the club. I mean, like this is all just stuff, guys, that who knows if this stuff is gonna hit? I don't know, right? But surely investing, just a little sum of coins into my club, surely this can't go wrong. Is kind of what I'm thinking. And these are all guys from this team of the week, right? So right now they're in packs. They're still getting supplied a bit. And so we've got the opportunity to get them before they do their initial price rise. Usually when you look at a player that would go up, usually these kinds of players will take a little bit of a rise, when you get to the out of packs period, right? Which is like when they're not getting supplied. And, obviously EA will tweet that there's a new team of the week, probably like a little while after you see this video. So we've got a Fakir here at 32.5, on bid. I could probably try to get him for like 31. For the sake of the video, guys, I'm not really too concerned with trying to get like a crazy deal on Fakir. So I'll try to get a 10.250 there. We'll just settle for the 32,500. We'll put one of those in the club. He's a higher rated one, and obviously he's got a really good link in terms of nationality. And then, we've got this club. We've got this week's, discard informs where we've got Castile, who's actually almost a discard inform. He's an 83 rated keeper, and he's 11,000 coins. So this is like the cheapest inform heading into Futmas. He's 12,000 coins for an 83 rated keeper, who's French, right? So you're going to offer good nationality there. And I'm just looking, like, as I was making this video, I was looking and I was like, wow, like there are genuinely so many team of the week requirements last year in these Futmas ones that these just don't hurt to have in the club, right? You can watch them potentially rise as you go. Wait, how? Da Silva, who's this? What's this guy's first name? Okay, Damien. All right, so his first name is Damien. So we're just doing a very simple clubs. That's not Damien Da Silva. We're just doing a very simple club stock, guys, with the current team of the week informs. This guy's an 82, but what he's really unique with doing is that he does link. He links a lot of players, right? Because he's obviously French and he's a League One guy. So this guy would already actually link with the Castile, which makes it very interesting. So you guys could easily go through, guys, and stock your clubs with these players. I probably don't need to be the one to tell you to do that, but this kind of stuff, in my opinion, is just really safe. And it's stuff that you just put a little bit of coins into it. And if you're a guy who's like doesn't really have this budget, then we'll talk about what you can do if you don't have this budget, because there's a ton of things you can do, right? But this Shelby, 10,000 coins, English Premier League, right? Where's the risk with that? There's no risk is the right answer, right? There's no risk with that at all. We'll go look at Cornet, right? This guy is literally also 10,000 coins. There's no risk there. These are all no risk investments. This is like stuff that I love because there's just obviously absolutely no risk with any of these guys. You've also got you've got Odegaard, who's in the La Liga, who's also, I believe, he's like 12K. Max, he's 12K? Yeah, he's 12,000 coins. So that's absolutely nothing as well. You've got La Liga links in there as well, which also works, right? He's actually less than 12K, I think. He's 11,750. Yeah, he's 11,250, right? So 11.5? Can I get 11.5? Is there an 11.5 there? Yeah, right there. Oh, shoot. Did these all get bought? Okay, we'll get the 11,750. So that's like this team of the week, right? And that's just me logging on. Super simple. Just look at this team of the week. What I could do is I could go look at last team of the week as well. And anything from last team of the week that looks a little bit low could be a potential good pickup. Maybe a Tarkowski, right? He's down there as well. You've got Aspas and Canellis and Higuain. All these guys. Yes, they were a lot cheaper last week. Obviously, they were a lot cheaper. but they're still kind of cheap at that 30K mark, 30K, right? That's not terrible. Now, what I would do as well, and this is what I've got to do tonight with you guys, we've got to go ahead and we've got to start we just got to make sure, like, I don't know if this is necessarily going to be the cheapest time of the 83s, but I know for sure that I want to make sure that I have these in my club because I don't want to miss out of doing Futmas SBCs. You guys can see from my club that I've got a good stock of I've got a pretty good stock of 85, 86s. I don't really have 85s. I also don't really have 84s, but I don't want to miss out on this stuff. So whether you get the UCL or the gold, what I'm doing at the moment, I'm doing a breeze throw on flipping of the cheapest 83s on this game. Now, this is like a really easy thing to navigate, not hard at all. You guys could get these on bid. I'm probably paying a little bit more than I need to for these. For me, it's about getting these cards in the club because I know there's going to be times where I'm on stream or I'm recording a video or whatever it is, bro, where there's going to be a card that I really want. And so I want to make sure that I have these in my club just in case I really want to do a certain SBC. And that's kind of how I look at it, where this is an investment that you're making for your club, but it's an investment you're also making for yourself because just in case you do end up wanting to do a certain SBC, right, you have these players in your club and they're ready to go at your disposal, where if you do choose to do a certain SBC, you're able to do so because you have these cards. Now, something I would suggest to you guys, to my guys who are watching this video, who want to make a lot of money, all right, the real way to do that, like with these, obviously, don't just be bidding. You should probably be bidding on some of these as well. The move with this, guys, with the cards that go up the most, always the players that are in positions that aren't goalkeepers and also have good like links nationality-wise. You always want to be looking for those types of players where they're playing like a central mid position, like this Campbell, right? These are the kinds of players that are always the ones that you will see going up, in my eyes, way more than others because they end up getting into solutions a lot easier and they link a lot easier than other players. This is something that we always see with Futmas, right? You see a player that is just a center mid versus a goalkeeper when there's an 83 requirement just going up way more than the other player. And this is just like a common thing. I remember I was doing an SBC the other week and Borja Iglesias was 3.5 thousand coins and now he's down at, well, he's 2K right. Oh, he's actually, all right. So be careful when you guys are investing as well because obviously if 83s are like 1.5 to 1.8, then you don't need to be buying an 83 if it's like that Borja is really overpriced. I don't need to buy that. But non-rares are also a really good shout. There are non-rare 83s in this game. You guys probably want to make sure you're getting some of those in your club because low-key, non-rare 83s just go up more because non-rares get packed way less in this game than rares. It's kind of messed up, but it's actually a thing. So if you don't believe me, I don't know what to tell you, but it's a thing. So trust me. But like example, right? You would see a card most likely like Jorginho going up way more, all right, than like a Hradecki, right? Because Jorginho offers a lot more as a link. And hopefully that makes sense to you guys because when we were looking through some of the cards that were coming out for Futmas last year a little earlier, the common trend of the Futmas, right, is that you have a lot of players that EA will release these SBC requirements and you will need like 80 chemistry. So when you need that 80 chem, it's a big deal. And also the goal of this is that you're going to get a Team of the Week SBC at some point. So whenever the hell you do get that Team of the Week SBC, you're going to be banking on these 83s. Whether these 83s are going to pay for that Team of the Week pack that you want to get or what it is, right? I don't know what your craving is for this. Is it profit based? I don't know. You know, is it profit based? Is it you whatever, right? Like it's like this is just something that I think is a really good thing to do, and I know it's really tedious, so that's why I'm making a longer video today. So the guys that want to do this with me, that do run Road to Glories, you guys can do this today, right? I know this is a tedious process. It's not the most fun thing to do. Who the hell wants to log on, all right, and stockpile 83s in their club? Not a lot of people, right? Because it's not that fun. It's not something that's that enjoyable to do. But I'm just thinking ahead, guys, for you guys, right? And I'm thinking with 30 player SBCs coming out, with a Team of the Week SBC coming out, with potentially anything, who else knows what's coming out, right? That this is not a terrible thing to do, right? Now, these are obviously, I am buying 83s a little bit more than I want to. Obviously, 2K is not amazing, but the fact of the matter is that we do also have SBCs coming out every day, and there is going to be stuff to consistently regulate it. So, are they a little bit more than what I want right now, 83s? Yeah, they definitely are a little bit more, guys. 83s are a little bit more than what I want right now. But as you can see, I'm not really advising these as like an investment to go all in on. That's not something I'm doing. And if I was you, I would wait till there's like marquee matchups or something to supply the market with these cards. because, really at the moment, it's not an amazing time right now, right? It's really good when there's like a crazy pack supply that comes into the game or something like that to pick these cards up. But for me, I have to do this because I'm like really bad with this kind of stuff. Like I hate doing this kind of stuff. And I know it's so profitable, and I know it helps me in the long term because for me, like I always know I want to do some of these SBCs. And if I don't get this done, I never do the SBCs. And that's like my problem because I don't take the time to do the investing and to do the preparing. So in the end, it really bites me. It bites me that it really is stupid that I don't do this stuff because I'm like looking back on SBCs and I'm like, yo, why the hell did I not stock my club with some of these cards? It literally is like, it's a huge trigger thing, right? Because you're just like, dude, you're like, I missed out on so much money. Why the hell did I not do it? So yeah, here we are, 1.8 for an Ilya Armendi. And that's the thing. I'm not even being patient with the snipes. If you really wanted to, guys, you could take forever with this club stock. You could be sitting there trying to get undercuts, trying to get things like that. It's seriously a thing that you could do if you really wanted to. If you wanted to get really tricky with this, you could wait and you could try to get huge undercuts and you could be really patient with this because you don't have to rush any of these buys, right? These 83s are going to be available always, right? You're always going to be able to get these 83s around 1.5 to 2K. So that for me is okay. I think we've got some of the 83s in the club now. I think we've got about 20. And then what we're also going to do is I want to get some 84s, right? Let's take a look at how 84s look at the moment. The cheapest 84 is 3.6K. That's what you're going to pay for Jan Sommer at the moment. He's been about 4K this week. They got up to 5K with some good SBCs. But again, right, if you look at this value for an 84, in comparison to what they were, it's not bad value. Like, in my eyes, it's not actually all that bad value that you're paying this little for an 84, right? So it's not terrible to pay this much for an 84. And you know what? Even 84s, you've got some that are like this Pavlenka that are actually at like 3.6. They're actually less. There's actually the ones that are less, not as great for chemistry are actually less than 4,000 coins. You've got Pavlenka actually at 3.7 thousand coins, which is super low. Looking at SBC wise, there was a few SBCs that came out the other week that, I mean, really spiked some of those dudes. I don't even know how to spell this guy's last. Is it? Wait, Josep? Oh, Josep. Whoops. So he's about 3.7 right there. We got one. This is something for me that you guys will probably see me selling most of these, but there is going to be a Futmas SBC or two. I would love to see a Sissoko. I would love to see like a Ferland Mendy. I'm going to be making probably a little bit of a return to Weekend League when Team of the Year cards come out. Start getting some reds on the channel for you guys every week. Again, and doing that whole grind. It's not something that I really want to do, but with Team of the Year coming out, I already know I'm trading really hard right now. I'm going really hard because I want to get Team of the Year Messi. I want to get Team of the Year Mbappe. I want to get these players and I want to try these players, and there's not really a great mold to try them in besides the Weekend League. So for me, any little extra thing like this where I can make some extra coins before a promo, doing a quick little investment here and there, for me is a big win. And that's why I'm looking into doing this, because I think for me that this is potentially some extra coins, man. I remember this Visca was like 6K the other week, right? So when I see him at 4K before a promo with all these player SBCs coming, it's just something that's good, guys. It's something to do with this weekly restock and every other week and doing this before big promos where there's going to be a lot of SBCs. Like, look, it may turn out that we don't get any SBCs this year, but that would be the first time that EA ever has done a Futmas promo where we haven't had player SBCs, right? This would be like the first time they've ever done it. So we've got a Ruffier coming in at 3.7K, and this price where you're getting 84s, man, in the mid threes. Like, if I was really patient, I could probably sit here again and snipe these cards for just insane prices. Like, we could probably wait to get a handshake for 3.5K. I'm not that greedy, so if I could just get if I could get these guys that they look cheap enough, then I'm pretty happy, right? I'm content with that, right? Mandzukic for 3.9, I'll be content with that, right? But guys, look, I mean, like, there have been times where you've got players like Pizzi or Peasy, where he's been like 6-7K, and look, this is an average price, right? He probably spiked on that day. This is what I'm always talking about. Let me paint the picture to you guys like this. When you guys sell your cards for marquee matchups, right? A lot of the time, the player will be astronomically high for that first 2 hours because everybody is doing the SBC for those first 2 hours. Think about that, like with average prices on 83s, 84s, and some of these cards during Futmas SBCs, right? It makes sense because Obviously, the price is going to average out through the day. But I'm sure you guys know when there's some crazy SBCs, we see these cards sometimes, like at 80, 84s, we got like really high for that first hour or two, and it's because people go nuts. So a lot of these player SBCs may have some people going nuts for an hour or two, and that really enables you to offload your cards for some really good profit. So that's what I'm doing at the moment. We've got Utzel at 4.2K, and as you guys can see, we're okay paying the extra 500 coins. We're okay paying the extra 500 coins, guys, for the guys who link pretty well. This guy's actually a lot more expensive. Paulinho's 4.5K at the moment. Wow. So that's a little bit more than I want to pay for Paulinho. And I really could get him. I really could get him on bid if I wanted to. There's a 4.2. We'll take that. That works. See? They just pop up, you know? This isn't me telling you guys to buy these cards, right? This video. This is a video preparing you for Futmas and getting you understanding that there's a lot of player SBCs coming. So if you want to save your coins on doing some of the players, this is really just not a bad option, right? There's no other better way to say it. Not a bad option to do something like this, right? Whether you save coins or you make coins. This is just kind of like a decent idea to do something like this. Where it's just in the long run going to be good for your club, in my opinion, right? It's like something that you really can't go wrong on, just kind of talking in the long run. 4K for 84 Sirigu. We'll take that, right? Some good profit there. Even like Genie Wijnaldum, right? That's a perfect, like this is a great card for SBC links, right? Genie Wijnaldum is a great SBC card because he's Liverpool, he's Dutch, right? Like there's a lot of links that go into this kind of card. So that's really that's an 84 that I think it, with a really good SBC or something that is like super chemistry wise, or maybe there's like a league requirement, can do well, right? If we get like some kind of Premier League card and there's, you know, something really specific, that kind of card you could see doing pretty well, right? That's kind of how I look at that one. We got Havertz here at 4.3, so we'll put him in. And I think we're going to do the whole tally, guys. I think we're also going to, I think I'm going to look into going for, I want to go and look into potentially going for some 85s as well, because I think 85s are also something that could start to push up as we go as well. Perisic would be a really good example of a card that could go flying, you know, potentially for one SBC. What I want to see is what are the price ranges on these cards? 12K. So, you know, the price range is good on some of these. You can always kind of tell that some of these cards have a little bit higher of a price range because EA maybe anticipates that maybe they'll rise up a little bit more in the hype. That's kind of, sometimes it's a little bit telling when you look at these cards that sometimes some of these guys have a little bit higher of like a max price range, and that's because EA is saying, okay, we think at some point that this guy, you know, could go this high, right? And that's kind of how I look at it, right? I always look at these price ranges from perspective, right? 12K for a good one. I don't know if all these 84s are that way, but I would say that I haven't seen it on, I don't think I've seen it on every single 84 in this game being this way. So, you know, it is what it is, right? Brandt's a little bit expensive at the moment. So we'll go next, and we're going to look at Felipe Anderson, who's at 4.8K, right? So that's a good one to go for. We'll go for that. It's a little bit better of a link, right? As you can see, Felipe Anderson would be a guy that, you know, is a guy that's a winger, right? Sometimes, like, solutions are really selective. So you might get a solution that has a, you know, 4-4-2, and you need a lot of chemistry, right? That's when you always see a guy like Felipe Anderson flying in price, right? That's like kind of the concept of sometimes these guys will get in solutions, and some guys will be a lot better than others in solutions. You guys will see some dude just absolutely rocking that solution and going up a lot in price. And, you know, that's usually due to that. Now, what's also interesting is when I look at the cheapest ones on Futbin, it's actually interesting to see that the second page on Futbin of players has actually some players that are a lot cheaper than the first page that are actually in better positions. So just make sure you guys are never getting caught up with, like, sometimes the cheapest cards that are on Futbin or any of these sites that you guys use for Foot are not actually the cheapest. And that's like a big thing that I would always tell you. Always go ahead and, like, make sure you're looking at graphs and things like that to kind of really understand who is the cheapest, right? Because you never really know. This Nabry is at 4.8, I would say. He's a little bit more. He's at 4.9. Okay, so we're actually, now we're starting to get a little bit more expensive, right? Nabry's up. But Nabry, guys, is a guy that I'm actually okay paying that 5K for, because I know that he actually the other day was really high. I think he was like 7 or 8K. He was 6.6. You know, it's not that high, but it is what it is. We've settled at this point. So this is getting a little bit uncomfortable now. I don't like paying close to 5K for these. So I would not pay 5K for these guys. If you could pay, you know, for the ones that have good links, like 4.5, like this Goretzka, And then, any of these guys that I'm buying recently. And then obviously the keepers, you're going to be paying closer to like 3.5 for those ones, I think. That's kind of the move. I think those ones are good. And obviously the ideal situation, guys, rewards day, we have marquee matchups. The ideal situation is to wait until those kinds of days, right? Wait until we have these days where you have that big buy window, where these kind of golds just get killed in the afternoon sometimes, like when we get these big pack supplies, right? It does make for a huge opportunity to invest in these. This is a card like that Socrates I could see at some point absolutely flying on the market just because, right? These are the types of players, DeVries, right? You see these kinds of guys sometimes just getting into these solutions and flying because they offer really good links and they just have that uniqueness to them that does make them go up a lot more. Callejon is another one of them. So this is why I'm always okay with paying a lot more for these guys than any other guy, because I know that these guys do really well in solutions. Douglas Costa is another one of them. Douglas Costa flies at times. I'm going to tell you guys that for sure. I've definitely seen Douglas Costa be expensive this year. So this is why I look at some of these guys, and I'm always okay with it. I'm like, all right, 5.2 is okay, because I know at a point that this dude could be an absolute crazy price, right? We've got Arturo Vidal as well, who will go ahead and we'll stock in the club. Hopefully we can get like 5.3, 5.4, 5.5. So he's a little bit more expensive. 5.5 is a little bit more than what I want to pay for him. Let me take a look at Pepe real quick. And now I think we're getting a little expensive. This is kind of where, like, for me, I probably want to tap out soon. I'm okay with missing out on all the 84s in the game. We don't want to get every single one. Let me put it this way. We don't need every single 84 in the game. So we'll get Pepe at 4.9 works. And then I'm going to go get a Felipe and an Arthur because those two actually I really do like as well. We'll also try to get a Boateng here. I don't know how hard that's going to be. It's probably going to be a little bit harder to get because he does offer really good chemistry. 5.4 works for me for the Boateng. So we want to try to go get a Sancho. We want to try to go get and if you guys want to follow along with the players that I'm getting, that works for me too. If you guys are like trying to do that kind of situation, oh my god, that works for me as well. That was really low. That's what I'm saying though, guys. If you really wanted to, you could sit here and snipe, and it is worth it because you guys will get some insane snipes. I'm just not patient. That's just me as a person with this kind of stuff. I'm not patient enough to sit here and just snipe all day with these cards, man. I just don't care enough because for me, you're in this investment a little bit more for the longer term. I think the unique part about this is we do have this base icon that's always going to keep these some of these cards like just, I guess, a little bit more regulated in price. Where you have this base icon that's always going to keep certain 82s. Like, look, let me give you an example, right? These 84s can't drop too much because the base icon would drop a lot if they do. And that's kind of like what I'm kind of thinking, right? So we move on as well, guys. 85s. 85s, in my opinion, are less profitable. I think 85s are not as good as other cards. I think these cards, I think you guys put a little bit more risk in these than you do with the 83s, 84s. I don't know how profitable these cards are. I don't think it really hurts to have these in the club. I just don't know how much they're going to go up. I think that these kinds of cards, the return isn't fantastic. Like, I think the max you guys are going to really see for these cards, it's not going to be great. I don't think we're going to really see more than 12K for these. I could be wrong. Like, EA could drop the most insane Futmas SBCs, and these guys just absolutely fly in price, but I don't really know. So for me, with the 85s, I may hold off for another day, and I may wait to get some of these 85s on another day. For me, I may wait a little bit longer on these 85s, but that's kind of how I would prepare, guys. Like, and after, this video tonight, we've now got this big stock where we've got high rated golds. We've got a little bit of everything, which I really like. And I feel like that for me, it makes me feel good, right? It makes me feel good about the club. It makes me feel good where we're at. We've got a good amount of high rateds heading into this Futmas. We've got a good amount of the 86s, 87s. We've got now, if you look into the club, we've got some informs ready for SBCs. What I'm going to do as well is tomorrow, probably on my stream, I'm going to go through as well on my stream, and I'm going to actually do a stock of discard informs. I want to get discard informs into the club and, maybe discard 82 informs, discard 83s, get those into the club and make sure that those are ready to go, because I think that is important as well, to get those discard informs. I'm going to look at like 82 to 84s from good nationalities that are out of packs. I'm going to look at those tomorrow and try to get some of those in the club. So hopefully you guys enjoy the upload tonight. Hopefully it helps you guys prepare a little bit for Futmas to get you guys the idea and the concept of the promo. Is there any predictions that we could see on Twitter? Futmas predictions. That would be really interesting to see if there's any predictions that we could see on Twitter. If there's anything on Twitter, obviously, like, these people have it linked. All right, so this is from Eliters. This guy watches my stream. Let's see. So Herrera, Lo Celso, Shaw, Diego Carlos, Saint Maximin, Cuadrado. Obviously, that won't come out because he just got an SBC. Suarez. In my opinion, yeah, this is kind of like the cards you would look at, boys. This would be the realm of who we're looking at. So thanks, guys, for watching, man. I really appreciate you guys supporting my videos and watching me all the time. I'll see you guys in a video soon. Peace out.